stated earlier about when we were talking about the atomic structure and partaking of different atoms, and each one has their own consciousness, that to some extent it's how we express that consciousness, meaning that as a worldly person, as just a personality, we express it based purely on our intellectual ability or our personality, our eye-directedness. Whereas for a pupil on the path, we direct it based on how it touches our soul, how our soul influences it, and therefore it's an expanded consciousness to some extent compared with the worldly view. And that is why that I see it anyway, that is putting it into practice. So that is how we live pupilship in a daily practice.
Everything is in practice. The egocentric soul expresses itself in practice. The purifying soul expresses itself in practice. The new soul will also express itself in practice, depending how those three states, what are they linked to? And if the new soul is linked then to that monadic energy and force as the macrocosmic Christ force, then it is no longer the improved consciousness. Because however improved the consciousness can be, it is still structurally, atomically linked to three dimensions. It'll never enter into a new dimension. And it'll only enter into a new dimension if we receive other etheric substances. And this is where we talk of the bread of life. This is where we talk of the four ethers, and also the fifth ether, which is fire. And fire has the property of burning. Not only scalding, it's interesting, scalding in the sense of scalding like that, or scalding in burning, it has the property of burning everything out of the being. So it is not an old phoenix that is trying to be nice and be the altered consciousness. That phoenix will be totally burnt, and out of the cinders, out of that process will come a new being. And that new being, Jan van Reichenborg explains as the new man. So it's not us trying to improve ourselves or being better, because as the question was asked, Jesus, good master, and he didn't even listen to the question, he just said, stop, there's nobody who's good. So it's not trying, the school is not into the game of trying to be better. And there are hundreds or thousands of initiation schools, management schools, developing the personality, being better, being in harmony, and so on, sitting in yoga positions, breathing, and all the rest of it. We're not into that. We're into a total atomic revolution. And that atomic revolution requires all, not in the way that Andrew was saying, must, but out of necessity. We can't do otherwise, because we may feel that we're being drowned in our own consciousness, in our own world. We're looking for more air. We're looking for something totally different, or we have found that something totally different. And that something other totally different will have an effect through the rose of the heart on the states of consciousness. And then a new state of consciousness comes about. Nari, I've tried to link into what you were saying and to see that, transfiguration is not an improvement, is not moving from the basis, it is finding a new basis which is in us, and that new basis then leads to a total change to a new consciousness, the new consciousness which is already 1/5 of the composition of the new soul, which is the carrier, the manifestation of the new man, the reborn microcosm.